So whenever I'm walking around the woods or riding around the woods, I'm always trying to keep an eye out for like survival resources. And this is a big sugar maple tree that just happens to have um, a natural drip going. And because it's cold, there's an icicle forming. But there will be a little bit of sugar content in the sap, so it's be a way to keep a little bit hydrated and get a few precious carbohydrates in your system in a survival situation. So, let's say something happens. Maybe you have an injury late in the day. You're out here riding, or you're out for a hike, whatever the case may be. You get turned around. Maybe you're even on the trail, but it's getting dark and you don't know where you are. So rather than risk getting injured riding around the dark, you want to set up a simple shelter to survive the night. Luckily this time of year, the most important shelter resource is all over the place: dead leaves. So we're just going to make a really simple style shelter that's kind of made for just getting through a couple of nights. So one of the tools that I carry with me all the time in my day pack is this folding saw, which, as you saw, kind of made the process of gathering branches easier, but it's totally fine if you don't have that. You just have to find branches that are dead enough to break off, or just that are the right size. So basically we have to fill this human-sized leaf basket with leaves, and we need a lot of leaves. So when you lay down on your leaf pile, you have to have at least 6 inches of compressed leaves between you and the earth. Like if you lay down there right now, Dallas, like so. Yeah. What's the temperature of the ground like?
It's a lot warmer, actually. I like it.
On a day like today, you want to work at a pace where you're staying warm, but you do not want to sweat, especially if you're wearing cotton clothing. If you sweat, that will steal your body heat. It's something like 80 times faster than if you were naked.
Yeah, this is way nicer.
Now see if you can pull some of those leaves on top of you, almost like a blanket, the ones that are on the edges. Does that feel any warmer than the first time you were laying down?
Feels a lot warmer.
To add kind of another layer of warmth is if you have a space blanket or a tarp like this, you can put it over yourself. This is a different survival shelter. If you have something like a tarp, I always keep at least 6 feet of paracord attached to each of the corners here. This is like a rubberized poncho tarp, which is really handy.
Now we're going to explain how to make a fire. Here we go.
What's that?
Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, so this is the fire kit that I carry with me pretty much at all times. Feel naked without it. And I would definitely recommend carrying a few of these items with you, even if you're out biking. So a dry case with cotton balls soaked in Vaseline, spark rod, so then you want to have a bundle of twigs, like pencil size or smaller, a big bundle. I like these reusable butane lighters.
Oh, Zippo.
It's like a little blowtorch.
Yeah.
So it's also refillable, so it doesn't generate any waste. Very pitchy wood, like this is naturally soaked in pine sap.
Huh.
So it's almost like a candle wick. So this last method is not something you would necessarily carry on the trail. This is the bow drill, which is probably the second oldest way that humans have of making fire. So we got a fireboard. Both of these are made of pawpaw wood. A handhold, which is made from this old knife. The blade goes all the way down the handle, so it's see it's metal in there, so it won't keep wearing away. And this one's made out of juniper wood, which is nice and strong. You want a slight bend to it, and about the length of your arm. Getting the string around the spindle is perhaps the hardest part.
That's insane.
There we have fire. So, you know, of course, up here you want to be really careful, especially with the breeze blowing and the dry leaves. If we were going to make an actual fire, probably want to line it with rocks if we could find them, or big dead logs. If you got lost out here on the Bailey's Trail, you had to spend a night out here by yourself, how do you get through the night?
Well, I'd make a shed, like that little shelter thing we made. I'd make one of those first of all. And then, like, I'd make a fire because I know it's going to get cold at night. And another thing, I'd have a knife on me.
Yeah, what are some other things you would want to make sure that you carried with you?
A tarp. Well, yeah, a tarp, because, like, not everybody's got a tent, you know. Like, you can make a tarp. Like, you can make shelter with that pretty easy. And, yeah, and oh yeah, and another thing, if I was stuck out here, I'd want to have rocky boots. Rocky boots would help me out. Any item that you have out here, there's multiple things you can do with it. Like this. Look at my acorns in my helmet. See?